Hi guys, welcome back to the Malena Edit. We are jumping into the NFL Week 14 recap, and the playoff picture is rapidly adjusting. We're getting into those closing weeks. Let's jump into some of the games I watched. I'm going to start things off with probably the most surprising game of the night, the New Orleans Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll start on the Saints side of the ball. That offense started off very shaky, and credit to that Philadelphia defense for really playing up to this moment. The staff, we know they're such a veteran staff. They're kind of used to this, so they did adjust pretty well in the second half. Obviously not well enough because they didn't take off the win there. Defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, I like that he kind of started to add some pressure to that young quarterback on the other side in Jalen Hurts. Yeah, lots of Jenkins blitzes and things like that. So they definitely started to pick things up. The offensive play calling at the end, they almost seemed a little bit too confident. It was after the Hurts fumble recovery right there around the 2-minute mark that they called really good plays. And I was like, why didn't you call that on the last series where Taysom Hill was able to quickly get the ball out and down the field to get his team to score? Yeah, they should have called that sooner. I don't understand why they were so comfortable in those closing minutes of the fourth quarter. Prior to that, as far as the Eagles, Jalen Hurts definitely kind of juiced up the sidelines there. I'm excited that he's going to get another chance to lead this team. It seems like he might be the future there in Philadelphia. We've got to see him for a couple more games. I think him versus Arizona, that'll be a really nice test against that defense as well. They'll get an idea of if this is the quarterback of their future. They're for sure very excited about it though. And that defense, Duke Riley played a really good game. The defense overall, they have a lot of injury concerns, and I feel like they always have injury concerns between the DBs, the receivers, and this year the O-line. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Like it's just a big red flag to me on what's happening maybe in their training regimens, or I don't know. It's strange that they always have that many injuries, but intriguing now to see what the future could look like. They really should have started Hurts sooner so they could have more to work with in terms of knowing if he is able to take over that starting job in the future. There's going to be a lot of talk surrounding that in the offseason. Next up, a matchup of two AFC playoff contenders, potentially playoff contenders there, with the Indianapolis Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders. Big shout out to that Kenny Moore pick. He looked like a wide receiver covering Darren Waller in the end zone to get that pick. That Colts defense overall is so good. They were able to slow and stop that multi-dimensional Las Vegas Raiders offense. So I think that was really fun to watch. I don't know how much I trust their offense still. I was concerned with the Raiders play calling, and then of course defensive coordinator Paul Guenther did get fired after that game. So yeah, I just didn't understand. Throughout the whole season, pretty much, what their defensive philosophy was. And I'm not a coach. I don't know, so I don't want to say it's on the coach or it's on the personnel or whatever the case may be there. But I just never understood where they were going with this defense. I thought they definitely needed another draft to fully clean things up. So I'm curious what we see from them going forward, how Mike Mayock drafts and gets new pieces in the door, and also how the philosophy shifts now under a new defensive coordinator. I'm ready to talk about the Colts though as a true potential contender. I really think that I could see this Colts defense stopping the Chiefs for sure, especially with what we've seen from other teams with tough defenses in facing Kansas City this season. So I'm looking forward to that through the playoffs. Hopefully we get to see that matchup. And finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills for that Sunday nightcap. Pittsburgh, the defense, played lights out as we expected them to, but their offense is starting to flatline. And I feel like over these past 2 weeks, I looked at the schedule and I realized I think these are two of the tougher, if not toughest, defenses that they faced all season. So that might be it. And then as far as the Bills, they are just getting hot and looking really good. They hit up and down low. So I don't know if I trust them either to take it all the way, but I hope that they can. They're an easy team to root for. Brian Dable for sure is just, again, marking up that resume as a head coaching candidate. Those adjustments in the second half looked so good. Stephon Diggs came out swinging. Love to root for that guy as well. So overall, excited for what the Bills could bring. no longer trusting in the Steelers, and that's tough. Like, it's right at the end of the season where it's like, like how we figured out Chicago were frauds earlier in the season. It's looking like they're getting a little bit exposed. I don't know. We'll see through these last couple of games, but I can see them just like really getting knocked out like wild card weekend. That is all I've got for you guys for this week 14 recap. And I did see some of the highlights from that San Francisco and Washington game. I'm very curious what the future looks like at quarterback for Washington. Because they obviously are building up that defense. They have some nice pieces in place throughout the roster. They're working on the culture there. So next up is quarterback. And I have no idea what the future holds there. Like, would they go for a Stafford or a Wentz or Matt Ryan? I'm gonna have my eyes on that. Let me know what you guys think, if you agree or disagree with any of my findings from this weekend. Like, comment, and subscribe. I love talking to y'all in the comments. I will talk to you in the preview on Wednesday.